Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Wednesday, April 9th. Tonight, Pat McAfee is going to deal with an angry mob of 18,000 Yinzers, or is going to announce that Aaron Rodgers is signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. One or the other. I guess we'll find out. Good luck, Pat. I don't envy you. I got a great question yesterday from Ivan Lara on Twitter, at Rayo Ivan, who wanted to know, how do I rank the 2024 first round quarterbacks, and where would I put Shedeur Sanders in the mix for 2025? Do I think he's better than any of the 2024 guys? Great question. I was immediately like, that's a really good one. So I figured I would take it here. And let's start with this. I'm not going to rank them based on what I thought of them this time last year. We'll use the benefit of hindsight to deal with the 2024 guys. Let's break them into some categories. Clearly, you got Jayden Daniels at the top. He's the one guy that proved that he can be a franchise quarterback at the NFL level in his rookie year. There's still, to me, questions about his durability with his size and how much he ran, but I think he's clearly at least 1A in terms of, if you were going to redraft last year's draft class, you're taking Jayden Daniels at number 1 overall. The second group of guys looks promising, but probably not there yet, and that's Caleb Williams. I think he's probably alone in that he wasn't bad, it wasn't really good, but you did see some flashes of the reason that he was the number 1 overall pick. I think to a different level than, say, Drake Maye, who was obviously the number 3 pick, but I think you saw enough of the talent level for Caleb Williams to think, okay, the Bears are working with something here. Whether they're going to get there or not, I don't know. And then to me, I would kind of have Maye and Bo Nix in about the same group. And Nix obviously had a better year. I think I would still rather have Maye going forward. I think he has a better arm. Is obviously, more prototypical size, a lot younger, so he's got more upside. So I put kind of those guys together, and then Penix, it's such a small sample, 2 games. It looked okay. I don't really know that we can learn a lot from that. But that would be the way I'd kind of break down the 2024 guys. All right, now so let's sort of slot this 2025 quarterback class into the way I feel about those guys. I think I would put Cam Ward in between, maybe right with, I would put Cam Ward in between Williams and Maye. I don't think he's as good of a prospect as Caleb Williams. Doesn't have the upside. I do think he has better attributes than Nix for sure. Pretty similar attributes to Maye. I don't know. Ward and Maye are pretty equivalent to me. Maybe you get Ward with a little bit more athleticism. I'd put them about equal. Okay, with both of the top 2 guys being better than either of them, and then Ward and Maye on about the same wavelength right now. For me, I'd have Shedeur Sanders about the same level as Penix. I would rather have Sanders than Penix, though, if you made me pick between them. I like his upside. He's very accurate. I think he has a good head on his shoulders in terms of doesn't turn the ball over. He doesn't manage the pocket very well, but he doesn't do dumb stuff with the football either. I think he can be I think he learned a lot going from the FCS level to Big 12, where he had to make a lot of adjustments to his game, and he kind of got a lot of the hero ball out of there. He kind of already had to grow up a little bit, and I think you can see that on the tape. He doesn't have the world's strongest arm. The deep ball is a lot like Russ's, where it gets there. It's this kind of high arcing. He's very accurate with it still, but it's not in all situations throw to all fields kind of weapon. It's you got to pick when you can do it. like, intermediate to the far sideline, probably not his best thing in the world. But like I'm very comfortable with Shedeur Sanders as an NFL starting quarterback. I would prefer him to Penix. Would I prefer him to Nix? Probably. I think I would probably rather have Sanders than Nix. But I'm also just not enamored with Bo Nix at all. So that's probably some of my own bias creeping in there. Jalen Milroe, I like as the third best quarterback in this class. And I would have him after everybody that we named from last year's first round. And I would not want him before, the end of the second round this year. The weird thing about last year's quarterback class is you had those 6 guys in the first round. Oh, JJ McCarthy, I didn't even mention, hard to pick where I would put him. Probably like on the same level as Nix, probably. That sounds about right. But yeah, so you had those 6 guys in the first round, then there wasn't a quarterback taken until the 5th. So like Milroe's clearly better than everybody else, but that doesn't mean much. Even like Joe Milton, who played a little bit and played pretty well last year, I think Spencer Rattler played a little bit and wasn't that good. I think Milton is leaps and bounds ahead of those guys, and probably not that far behind Michael Penix for me. And then I've got Jaxson Dart, who, for me is like a 3rd round grade, maybe late 2nd. I just don't see anything elite. He's like an above average player at best. There's value in that, but I don't think there's a lot of value in that, especially when you're the Pittsburgh Steelers playing in a division with Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow. Above average just gets you 3rd best. So for me, I like the upside. The rest of the quarterbacks in this class honestly don't even belong in this conversation. I'd probably take Will Howard next. And if you just look at the last 3 games from Will Howard, they're very good, but I don't know how you can have any faith that that's what you're getting going forward other than just hope. Tyler Shook has 1 good season in 7. I have no idea how you even begin to evaluate that. I would not put a lot of faith on him being able to repeat it. Quinn Ewers has talent, but no production, and honestly looks like washed. Like he looks worse than he used to look. That's not the trajectory you want to be on entering the NFL draft. And then there's a lot of other guys down there that have like an interesting trait or a couple interesting traits, but nothing that I think anyone is too serious about in terms of being a potential starting quarterback. So, to sort of summarize, I like Cam Ward about as much as I like, Drake Maye. I like Shedeur Sanders about as much as I like Bo Nix. I think I would take Sanders over Nix. Definitely Sanders over McCarthy and Penix. Yeah. And then Dart and Milroe, not in the same conversation as the rest of that class. I would take all those guys, even Penix, who I had at the bottom, over or either of those guys. That's the answer. That's a great question. I love things that make me think like that. So keep those coming. And I'll be back with more with me and Smitty. We actually got a lot of questions to get to on the YouTube platform. And Alan, we'll talk about the Rodgers stuff as well. Interesting visitors coming up at UPMC Rooney Sports Complex today as well. So we'll touch on that. That's all I got for now. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications here on the YouTube channel. Until next time, enjoy.